So now guys, I'm going to show you the method that I use to profit on option calls for AMD stock. This is one of my strategies, and I'm going to kind of go a little bit more in detail with this trade instead of just showing you the 5 minute chart. I'm going to show you how I use RSI and MACD, just two other indicators that I use, as well as volume. So first of all, I established a trend on the daily time frame, and then I kind of break it down to the 4 hour time frame and then to 5 minute time frame. Once you've established that you want to look at getting into a trade, the day of, what I'll do is, so we have a 5 minute chart on AMD, and you can see what happened Friday. So how I made this trade is I was actually looking for the trade to either bounce off a channel from a daily. As you can see, this line right here was my support area for a channel upwards on AMD on the daily chart. So I was looking for a bounce off of this or a breakthrough to actually short AMD. But we opened way in the green on the futures and ended up going to the upside. And so first thing I want to do pre-market, right before the market opens, let me change my tool here, is I want to plot the pre-market highs and I want to mark the pre-market lows. So here is our pre-market high, and you can kind of confirm it with part of the prior day's trend. Here's my, and I want to go all the way across the screen with it, so as the chart moves, I don't lose sight of it and forget about it. There is my pre-market high, and then I want to do pre-market low also. Kind of give me some more structure for this 5 minute chart. So a lot of times you will see a stock jump one way or the other right at the open. It's kind of this will really trip you up as a beginner, because you'll see this big red candle and you'll think, man, the market's going to sell off. I'm going to get inputs, and then it'll take off on you, or vice versa. You get this big green candle, and then it'll drop on you. So that's why a lot of times you don't want to trade that first candle. Sometimes I don't trade the first 30 minutes at all until I really get a trend set up. But I had a lot of things in my favor here. We had the big red candle. So a lot of times we'll see a bounce here, and then this green, you got rejected right here. So this gave us a little bit of support right here. And we have a higher low because we didn't come down to pre-market lows. So that is one indicator that was telling, okay, we're probably going to bounce here. Plus the market was in the green and continuing in the green. We have a large amount of volume. Our RSI is above 50. Our MACD is headed up, and the blue line is over the gray line. And as you can see, when the opposite happens, the stock trends down. So we got a signal on that on MACD that it's headed up. What another thing I look for is, this gets really overlooked, is the histogram part of MACD. The histogram part here is these red and green bars down here, and then this purple line is the zero line. So whenever the histogram crosses above the zero line, it's a buy or bullish, and then when it crosses below, it is a sell or bearish. This could help you pick out retracements and areas to get out of a trade if you've been in a trade for a while, and I'll show you exactly how I use that for this trade as well. So histogram was above zero, MACD headed up, RSI is above 50, headed up. We got volume, we got a rejection with a higher low, and then this right here is a bullish engulfing candle, which is a very strong signal. And not only do we have that, we broke above our pre-market high. So we have a whole bunch of stuff in our favor, making this a low risk trade, because we are more likely to head in the upside direction than the downside direction based on all these things together. So putting a trade together is not just picking out one or two things. It is putting the whole picture together. When you have 10 things in your favor, then you can feel really comfortable about making a low risk trade. And then I entered this trade as we broke above here, and I would have got out of this trade when we broke below the 9 EMA or maybe below the 200 EMA, which is another strong signal, is that we came back above the 200 moving average. Right here that I have in yellow, our 9 EMA is headed up with our 20 EMA. So many things lined up for us here. So I ended up entering on this bullish engulfing candle. I rode it all the way up, and then we kind of consolidated, which is normal. And then you just kind of stay out, watch out for your volume and your MACD, make sure it's not curving over on you. The 9 EMA was curving up underneath of it, so it's showing us that we still had a strong uptrend. So all I did was consolidate, move up, kind of retrace, made a little bit of a bull flag, and headed up. But as you see here, everything that I showed you before is headed up. But one thing you can notice right here is you can actually use support and resistance on the RSI. So we have a rejection, 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 rejection over and over and over again, which is saying RSI does not want to go over this price. Plus it's above 70, which means it's overbought. And we started to come down. We got under the 9 EMA, and then if you come down here, our RSI is headed down, our volume is falling off as well. And then look right here, like I said earlier, we crossed under the 0 line on the MACD histogram and got a sell signal right here, and I got out of this trade at this point, and then we were kind of done for the day. So just like I said, when you're graphing or charting, you need to have multiple things in your favor, not just one or two, not just, man, the MACD crossed over here, because a lot of times the MACD, whips back and forth and can be choppy like here. So, that doesn't really give you enough of a signal. You need multiple things in your favor: volume, RSI, MACD crossover, histogram, support and resistance levels, EMAs, wedges, flags, whatever you like to chart. Put all those things into your favor and set yourself up for success. And if none of those things line up, then just don't trade, hold cash. But that's all I have for you. Hopefully that helps you, and I try to go into a little bit more detail with my trades with you. And if this helped you out a lot, please drop a like and subscribe to my channel, and comment if there's anything specific you want to learn about or want me to show you about my trading style.